Hello, hello. How is everyone going today? I thought I'd try something fun and do a little bit of a challenge. So I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but someone I think who goes by the name of SDG Games made a website called the 20 Games Challenge, which is sort of like an introductory sort of challenge for people who are new to making games. If they want to make games, they can go through the challenge and make 20 games. It's actually only 10, I think, but you have 20 to choose from. So you can do that, which is, I think, a good way to get started personally. Don't stress too much about making, your dream game or whatever they call it. Because if you're new, it's way harder than you realize. So making your dream game, if you've never made a game before, is, I don't want to say impossible, but it's a very difficult task. You're giving yourself a lot to do. And so something like this, the 20 games challenge, is a really good way to sort of wet your toes. Is that the right word? I don't like that. It's a really good way to sort of get a taste for what it's like to make a game. And so I thought it was a fun thing because, I'm obviously not new to making games at this point. I've been doing it not full time. That's not the right word. I've been doing it, every day for 3 years now. So maybe even longer than that. I started seriously in 2020. So yeah, I guess every day for 4 years now. But what about seeing how fast I can make these games? Because I should be able to make them pretty quickly. So let's switch to that one. There we go. So the 20 games challenge. The challenge. Here is a list of 10 games to get you started. There are a couple of alternatives, so you can select either game from each section. Each game will be slightly larger and more difficult. Each game will be slightly larger and more difficult than the game from the previous section. So you will always be learning and growing as you make more games. So basically, every time you finish a stage, the next one gets a little bit more difficult. And there's more to do, to be honest, because the last game in the challenge is Minecraft or Portal, which are pretty hard games to make. Even if I was to sit down and do that, it would be really hard. So maybe I'm not beyond the 20 game challenge. Okay, each game in the list below will have a short description as well as a definition of done and difficulty estimate. So you can tap on the game name to see its details. A game, some basic shooter. Description means as an example. Okay, so game number 1, which is what I'm going to be trying to do today or tonight, is select a game from the tabs. You only have to make one of the games. If you can't decide, just make Pong. After you make this game, move on to game 2. Okay, so gain a basic understanding of your game engine and editor. Put together a complete but small game. Don't worry about making art. You can find a lot of sprites online. The main focus for now is the mechanics of the game engine itself. You will learn to use your engine, creating and destroying objects, processing player input, and detecting and reacting to collisions. All right. So I am sort of up on debate about which one I should do. I actually think Pong is the better choice because I feel fairly confident in making Flappy Birds. It'd probably be I don't want to say too easy, but Pong seems more of a challenge to me than Flappy Bird because they actually go, okay, complexity is good at 1 star. Apparently Pong's easier. Maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know. That's weird. Okay, well, let's get into it. I think I'm going to make Pong. So it's the first widely successful arcade game. It was released in 1972 and it started as an arcade game. Yeah, we know it's like the GOAT, right? But it was designed directly in hardware, which is crazy. Specialized computer design to bounce a ball between 2 paddles and keep score. You don't have to make this from computer parts, of course. Yeah. Okay, so Pong's pretty straightforward. Should we see if we can... Pong. Could I play Pong? Just to get an idea. Ponggame.org. Just to see. 1 player, keyboard and mouse. We'll do easy. So it's pretty straightforward, right? You need a square and a rectangle. Oh, I lost. Fuck, this game's hard, eh? And basically we just need the enemy to follow the ball, because it looks, if I'm watching it, it really just follows the actual like Y location of the square, just at a slower rate. So realistically, if you wanted to beat it, you just have to hit it further away. Otherwise it's too easy for it. So that's really it. Fuck, I just let that one straight through. So it should be pretty straightforward. We're keeping score, and we've got a bouncy ball that looks like it gets faster each time. I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty straightforward. I think I can do this pretty quickly. I think I can do this in a night. It shouldn't really be that easy. I mean, it shouldn't really be that hard, I should say. Damn. Okay, so open up Godot. I've got one ready to go. It's going to be a 2D scene, I guess. I guess we'll call it arena. Oh, you know what I don't have? I don't have a timer. Do I have a timer? Or just like a time shift? Stopwatch. You're gonna have to do it with Google, not this one. Let's do it with Chrome. Should have set that up first beforehand. That's not what I want. This is DuckDuckGo. I don't want that. I want Google, and I want a timer. I want a stopwatch, and I just want to start that. Okay, we started the stopwatch. It's not that important. I'm going to do it in the night. Maybe it is important. I don't know. You guys tell me. Okay, so let's jump over into how's the levels. This still feels too loud to me. Okay, so we've got the area. I wanted to call that actually arena. And we will need, I suppose, a couple of sprites, really. Sprite 2D. That's fine. And within this, we are going to need a texture. I wonder if we can just use like a placeholder. Can you put a color rect inside a sprite or something like that? Delete node. Hi, and good luck with Pong. Yeah, I think it should be easy. Character body 2D, actually, because it's going to need to collide with things. And because this can be like the player, right? And this can be, we just need two character body 2Ds, one for the player, one for the enemy. I'm just going to do it all in one scene. I don't think I need multiple scenes for this. And then we actually need the boundary. Oh, what am I doing? I need a static body. Right? And this will need to be, we'll need to have a sprite or a color rect. I think it could just be a color rect. Like is that going to work? Is that, I don't know if that's okay. I'm sure it's fine. We'll roll with that. Boo, static body. Because like you would need one at either side, right? To like, for the boundary really. So this is going to be container sizing. What is it? 1152 is the default, right? Okay, so we've got a static body. It needs a collision shape. One extra. Let's go. And we can make that, I mean, it's not that important. Okay. We can duplicate that. Top boundary. Bad typing. Top boundary. I can delete this sprite. I don't need that. And this one Can we group this? There's buttons you can press for this, right? Lock. This one. I forget. It's been so long since I've worked in 2D. Okay, so we'll do that. Now I feel like the music has gone away. I need to keep it company. Keep me company. All right, so we've got the 2 there. The boundary box on this one is too high. That doesn't help because the positioning is all wrong. There we go. Okay, so now we've got 2 boundaries and we need a player, which is just going to be a square. Actually, it's not a square, isn't it? It's a rectangle, to be fair. Can we move him, her, it, they, I don't know, over to this side and just up a little bit? That'll be fine. How long should it be? Like, too much. Way too much. Go with that. And we will add another color rect because it's just a white square. And what did I make it? What was the size of this? 20 by 100. That's absolutely fine. Container sizing, transform. Oh, what is that noise? Ew, go, stop, okay, timer. I never even started you, jeez. Oh, scared the shit out of me. Okay, 20 by 100. And they're not in the same space they need to be. The transform needs to be the same. And how do I do that? The transform position 0. It's funny. Okay. Probably needs to be -10, right? And then this needs to be -50. Yeah, that works. Okay. All right. Well, I created a thingo there, but realistically, I just want the same thing. But then I'll just call it player 2. I mean, yes, right? It is a second player. Chuck that one down there. And I guess I won't worry too much about like their exact positionings. I also need like a background. So I guess I'll add another color rect and just make it black. And it needs to go at the top. And it can be like full rect. Or apparently that's not going to work. Does it need to be in a canvas layer? Which is totally fine. Yes, it does. But that's not what I wanted. Its size 1152. And what are the window size? General window 648. Excellent. Okay. So we don't have the ball. It's going to be a physics body. What is that called again for 2D? It's just a rigid body 2D. That's fine. With a collision shape. That one there. And another white square. A color rect. I hope these work. I've just added them to everything. And we'll group that and put it in the center. So its transform is going to be 11552 divided by 2. And then 648 or something so random divided by 2. I know that they've like sort of tried to justify that. I probably need to subtract the size of the flippy. Yeah, I need to like take off a couple of pixels. Oh, well, that's good enough for now. So this can be the ball. Is it called a ball in Pong? I don't even know. Okay, so let's just start with the human player movement. Okay, so it just gives me stuff right off the bat, which is always nice. Speed, we don't want jump velocity. We don't want to be able to jump. That's not going to be a thing. We don't want to add gravity. So realistically, we've got left and right, but actually we want to go up and down. So I'm just going to create new inputs. So I'll create one for that and then down. And then we'll just change this to Y and it'll just work. And in the project settings, we will go to the input and add a new name. We'll go up and down. Okay. And that really should be all we need. We'll save the scene. Arena. Yeah, that's fine. Let's play, select current. It don't work. They don't move. Debugger 1. Get access up, down. Okay, that's Mr. Y. Let's try that again. Still nothing. Hey, Pingu Zen? Oh, lovely. Godot just crashed. We'll call it that. I'm good. I'm doing a challenge. I'm seeing how fast I can make Pong. I just hit my first roadblock. Velocity.y direction, move towards velocity.y, speed 0. Okay, so that is move towards Arch Linux. Hell yeah, bro. That is not the function I wanted. Move towards from float to float. Delta. What? Oh, yeah, okay, so this is the... this is the deceleration. So it should be direction, input, get access up, down. KDE. I'm a bit of... I sort of flip between GNOME and KDE, but I think overall I probably prefer KDE. Did I stuff that up somehow? Project input. Up. Oh, I never added. Oh, that's funny. Up, down. Classic. Hey, there we go. And now that is colliding with our sides, which is actually, that's nice. So we just get that for free. You can just go up and down. It feels probably a little bit slower than the game that we just played, but I guess you need a boundary. Yeah, the ball is falling out of bounds. I noticed that. It's not colliding, which is a bit strange. Does it have a collision shape? It doesn't have a collision shape. That is why. And it needs probably to be 40 by 40. What is the size of the white square we have there? 49 apparently. Okay, that's a bit better. I'll move the color rect. Position -20, right? Yeah. All right. It shouldn't really have gravity, to be honest. Okay, that can just be 0. And I guess, so here's the question though, like with Godot, I know that we get a bunch of stuff for free. It's probably better, like if you wanted to do like a real version of Pong, you're gonna want it to be, yeah. So I guess Pingu Zen, to introduce it to you, there is a 20 games challenge, and it's for new game developers. If you're wanting to try out and learn how to develop a game, it's a way of sort of getting a feel for what it is to make a game. Because, like if you've never made a game before, starting small and working your way up is probably the best way to do it. Obviously, I have a little bit more experience, but I just want to see how fast I can make Pong and sort of like let people know that they can do this if they're looking to make games. So currently I'm at 13 minutes. Yeah, it's really good. It ends with like Minecraft or Portal. So I think the last game is Minecraft and Portal, which are very technically challenging games. Like I think I would struggle with Minecraft, maybe not so much Portal. I have a little bit of experience making portals, so different for everybody. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, so now that we've got that, we turned off gravity. I know there's bounciness in here somewhere. So it's got a mass, physics, material, center of mass, auto, blah, 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 can sleep. Collision. Layer 1 is fine. Did they take that out? Or is that just a 3D thing? Because I normally work in 3D. So maybe there is not a bounciness. That means I'd have to do it manually, which kind of sucks. Lock rotation freeze mode. I guess once it, no, I don't need to do it really that manually, right? Because I can just get the normal and then just angle of incidence. Oh, yeah, okay, hang on. The text is kind of hard to read. Let's go to dashboard here. Pingu CTRL or any other. Do you think Pingo Hollow sounds good? I need help with you. Oh, yeah, username. Yeah, Pingu Zen is kind of hard, like to read, I guess. Maybe if you put an underscore between it, but Pingu Hollow is probably easier. Pingu CTR, like control, like the button for control, I guess. I think people would get confused. But Pingu Hollow, like Pingu the cartoon? Is that what you mean? Is that what Pingu's from? I love that show when I was a kid. Okay, so we're thinking about making this ball bounce. Yeah. Yeah, that show ruled. Did like the little newt. Really? For real? Okay, I didn't know that. That's awesome. It's very cool. What if I give this just a velocity of x and see what happens? Oh, it's very slow. So the velocity gonna need to be something like 400 pixels. Very fast. And then it just pushes that. So I believe the player, so we've got some technical challenges here, is going to need to mask the world but not be on the world. And then it won't be moved by that. Oh, no, the other way around. That's better. Okay. So now it's going to come straight towards it. Now we need to work out how we're going to do the bouncing mechanic. Are we for real? There's no bounce for 2D rigid bodies? That's low-key kind of annoying. Let me just see. Oh, I don't want the online docs. Take me here. Rigid body. No bounce. Okay. Man, that is weird. Am I going crazy, or is it just a 3D thing? Okay, maybe it's just I am going crazy. Was there never a bounciness like choice? Oh, getting really distracted now. Hello, I gotta follow. Who did? Sorry, I wasn't watching my screen. Oh, I missed it. Apologies. Alrighty. I'm a little bit lost because I'm fully convinced there used to be rigid body override material? Physics material override that has a bounce of 1. That is the correct answer. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Physics. Oh, there it is. So, huh. All right. Well, that was easy. So it just bounces. It's going very slow, obviously, and it's slowing down. And the other thing to think about is the way that the ball bounces in Pong. We can get more specific later, but that's a good way. But I think I want to give it a constant force rather than a velocity. Let's just go with 400 again, pixels per second. Oh no, okay, that's not going to work. So I probably need to add a script to like continuous damp mode, replace, continuous CD, angular velocity, damp mode. Defines how linear damp is applied. See damp mode for possibles. Combined in this mode, the body's dampening value is added to any value in the area set to default. Replaces body. It has like no mass, no bounce, absorbent. If true, subtracts the bounciness from the colliding objects. Bounciness instead of adding it. Center of mass audio. Inertia 0. I just don't want this thing to stop. And I'm trying to do it for free without doing it in code. Probably need to print out a velocity. I think the less code we write, the better. Linear velocity. Yeah, I think I've done it. So it's just for free. Let's see if we can like fuck it up a little bit. I'll see it if I can just hit it on the side. Oh, it's gone forever now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll run with that for now and then see if we need to add something later or actually add some logic to the ball, but let's just try to get it for free. Okay, so we've got movement, the ball bounces. What else have we got to do? Oh, obviously we need out of bounds areas. So these can just be collision shapes. Actually, they're going to need to be area 2Ds, aren't they? So you can just do like out of bounds. I'm not watching the chat again. Hey, it's so weird to see people making gameplay when I was a kid. Damn, I'm old. Face screen. Oh, you're not that old. I played Pong when I was a kid, although it was an old game when I was a kid, but I still played it. Sometimes it was all people had, you know? Back in the 90s, people still had, like, I'd show up to people's houses, like, you know, like when you're 5 years old and your parents are taking you around or whatever, you'd go to, like, someone's house and they'd just have, like, an Atari instead of, like, something more modern at the time. Or some random knockoff. It happens. Okay, I need the collision shape. Collision shape. All right. So this needs to be tall, right? Square, that's fine. 698, I think it is. And then we can just grab this. Let's group it because we can just stick that. It doesn't have to be that far behind, and then duplicate it and stick it there. Right, so we've got 2 out of bounds. We're going to need to add a script to the arena, and just it can hold the logic. We're not going to worry about doing anything fancy. We're just going to connect up the body entered. And virtually, we don't even really need to worry about... actually, well, that's not what I want to do. I want to connect it to a single signal, so that I don't have to worry about checking which side it was on. Although I do need to know, actually. Right, I do want to know what side it collided with, so I can calculate the score. So I do need 2 sets of signals. That's fine. I should probably be more specific about what side is what. So this is out of bounds player 2. And this is player 1. And I keep getting my typing wrong. Player 1. So let's try that again. Is this Christmas music? What's going on? I don't know if you guys can hear that very well. I'm going to take that out of the playlist. So let's just delete all of this stuff and just reset on that. Disconnect. And, well, it's got 2. That's a problem. Good thing I went and checked that. Okay, we'll connect that. And we will connect that. Body entered. Cool. Okay. So now we know player 1 and player 2. So if it went out of bounds on the player 1 side, right, let's widen this up. So if it goes out of bounds on the player 1 side, that's player 2's point. So I guess we'll also need to go var we'll just call it like P1 points. It starts at 0, var P2 points. Score is probably better. Let's change it to score. And we'll make that equal to 0. And so here's this. So P2 score, I should say, is plus equals to 1. Right? And then the same thing for this one, but we make it P1. That's easy enough. And we probably also want to check a function called check winner, and it'll take a score, right? And that's an int, and it returns a bool, right? So then we can say, doesn't it slide off, it decide to go, doesn't the side it goes off decides what way the ball goes on reset? Maybe. I'll have to check that, Alfan. Yeah, good question. I've got the original, well, I've got a Flash version of it open on the browser, so we can check that. So we can add some logic there. So we're going to check for winner. So if score is equal to 10, then it will return true. I'm just going to make 10 the winning score. Else, well, we can just go return false. Right? So then we can say var win check equals check winner, and we pass in the P2 score, and then we can say if win check, then print winner for now. We'll come back to that. 1080p vid quality, please add 360. Oh, I wonder if that, interesting question, Satoru. Is that I'm using Restream at the moment to get onto Twitch and YouTube at the same time. I wonder if that's something to do. I'll have to check maybe later. Interesting. Okay, so we can just duplicate this code and then pass in P1. Okay, so let's get amongst it. All right. I'm gonna check in next stream. Yeah, thanks, man. See ya. Delta is never used in the process function because we're not using the process function. Okay, so now we have a way of checking the scores. We also want to have a canvas layer that we can display the score. So I'm going to chuck this up. We just need labels, right? At the moment, probably 3. Let me have a look at the reference. It's gone. Did I delete the reference? Bring it back. We're at 27 minutes. I wonder if I could just we can get on the speed running. Okay, when we're here, we might as well check the direction. So it's just 2 numbers. It's not even, okay. And then it went to him, even though I lost the point. And if I beat him, so I just have to beat the computer, which is really seems like it alternates. Yeah, it just alternates. I don't know if that's like official Pong rules. We can leave this open. Right. So the heck was I doing? I forgot. I was doing labels. I was doing score tracking just so we know what the score is. Let's get back into 2D. And the position of these, we'll put what? They're just going to be in the middle, right? And we'll call this one P1 score. Exactly what I wanted to watch, Mr. Forgettable. Is that true, or are you just being nice to me? Or sarcastic? I can't tell over the internet. P2 score. Okie dokie. And the positioning, I guess if I just do like one, they're both 0, right? Not at all sarcastic. Okay, that's great to hear. And put this one on the right, and that works out totally fine. The theme override, we'll just make these a bit bigger font sizes. What do we want? I guess, yeah, that works. 50, 56. I reckon, well, I'm trying to go fast, so it's not going to be fancy, if you know what I'm saying. Theme overrides, fonts. So we've got 2 here, and let's just reset the that one. I'm going to have to mess with the anchors, aren't I? I don't want to. Annoying. Okay, that's fine. Custom. We'll make this 1.55, I guess. Yeah, that works. And this 1.45. Fancy for non-programmers. I want to see the code efficiency. Well, code efficiency is definitely not my strong point, so I don't know if you'll see that here either. Oh, is it because I'm like nobody on Twitch? They can't lower the stream's video quality. That's actually really interesting. You'd think it'd be the opposite. Like maybe if you were like someone that has like 5 viewers or whatever, would get low quality streaming or something like that. That's an interesting one. Okay, so I was working with the alignment on these, display text. And that's going to be custom, that button, and we'll make it 0.45. Okay, now they won't get in each other's way, and I suppose I want to bring them down a bit as well. 0.6. Whoa, that is not what I wanted to do. Wait. Jesus. Anchors can be a bit tricky, eh? 0.1's fine. Alrighty. So now we've got the score. Let's set up the logic for that so we can see it. We won't really be able to score. So, okay, so when the signal is sent out from the out of bounds area, we are going to update the score for these guys. And we could, like realistically, we can just get direct references for these because it's not a complicated game. We don't have to worry about like dissociating that. It's not that important right now. So let's do this first here. P1 score, P2 score. Interesting how it did that. I actually want to rename those because it's kind of confusing. So I'm going to put a label at the end. Let's try that again. Bezos doesn't get enough out of you, care. Oh. Yeah, but that's why he should give me less quality, not more quality, if that makes sense. Like, new streams should just be locked to 720 and lower, right? One day Bezos will care about me. Actually, probably not. I don't know. Okay, so focusing on the challenge. P2 score label dot set text. and we will just pass in str p2 score like that. I'm doing the wrong score label, dot set text, and we'll pass in str, and we'll do the same thing. We'll pass in p1 score. Easy. All right, let's check that, because I can just give away points. It starts at 2. It must collide with something, probably the edges, but other than that, it did tick up. So let's correct that. So the reason for that is because they're on their own layer. So what we need to do is set up a separate layer for out of bounds. We'll make it layer 2. I don't know if it needs to mask, or it needs to be on that layer, and the out of bounds need to mask that layer. That is, I believe, how it works. Let's see. Okay, we'll just have to bounce that back. So we should see this tick up, and it does. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is obviously reset the ball. So the ball, we bring in a reference for that. Hey, Fan Studio Game Development, how are you this evening, this morning, this afternoon? Depends where you are, I guess. Okay, so now let's reset the ball. Let's create a function for that. Do we want to know who scored last, or do we? It seemed random on the example that I took, so I'm just gonna say no. We're not going to worry too much about it. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's not random, it alternates, so it does need to know where it started, and so if we create like a launch direction, and we make it equal to positive, like it's just an integer, right? I should type these. Practice clean code. That's my main goal. Oh, good. Nice to catch you. We're based in the UK. Okay, so good afternoon. Some British people. I've got a really... that was a horrible accent. I can't do it. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to because it's super cringe. Yeah, I always get like, it's really funny when people try to do the Australian accent, but it's like, it's low key kind of cringe, I guess. I don't know, actually, maybe that's just me. When I watch streamers, I watch a lot of Hassan Piker, and whenever he does like accent impersonations, I have to like switch it off because I'm just like, I just can't listen to this. Okay, so where was I? I was resetting the ball, and we've got a launch direction. It can just be, I guess it could be a ball too, but we'll just make it an int for easy. And so the ball, we've got a reference to that. What is its starting position? That's what we need to know that. So I can copy those values. Well, I could just read it at the start. So start position is a vector 2. And then on the ready, I can set the start position equal to the launch, not launch direction, the ball dot position, I guess, is probably fine. Right? And then on ball reset, we will want to, we also need to know, not only that, we need to know the velocity, launch velocity, and this will be a vector 2, and it is going to be equal to, I think it was 400 in the x direction per second. We'll just make that hard-coded for now. Let's check that. It's 500 pixels X. So it's a positive and 500 and 0. Right. And then we want to say ball. Can we create a function? Launch ball. Should I create a function? Is that... How many times am I going to really use it? I've got reset ball and launch ball. I guess I'm going to be calling that. Yes, I will make a function. Don't want to barge in, but we've been watching your videos for quite some time now. We're hosting a game jam. Yeah, I'll stop by. I don't always have time, but I guess, you know what? I've changed my format a little bit because I found that I was focusing so much on making content, I wasn't making games. And so now, obviously, I'm trying out streaming so I can make games and make content at the same time. So yeah, I'll check it out. Jump on the Discord and send me a link, or you can drop a link in chat. That's fine too. I'm okay with that. Okay, so I actually want this to take the velocity. Just call it launch velocity, which is a vector 2. It returns nothing. That's fine. Okay, so ball dot linear velocity will be equal to the underscore launch velocity. That's all we need for launch ball. And we can call that, and we can pass in the launch velocity. And this can now be set to 0. And then when we reset the ball, we want the ball to, we want to set, first of all, I think I'm going to say ball dot linear velocity is equal to vector 2 dot 0, so that we stop the ball, and then we say ball dot position equals start position. And then the one thing I think I picked up on this, I don't know if I'm right, but I feel like there was a bit of a pause when you lose the game. Yeah, there's a bit of a moment there, right? So, I mean, I'm doing things a little bit out of order because I'm saying let's reset the position. But I guess, yeah, I mean, okay, so launch ball. And we'll just call it launch velocity. Sorry, we'll pass in launch velocity. Maybe if that's the case then, and we're trying to emulate what we're looking at on the screen, we can say before, because we're going to call this reset ball function after there's a score. So I can say wait get tree dot create timer, and we'll make it like 2 seconds. I might make that a variable dot timeout, right? Dot connect, and then we'll call reset ball. Cannot get a return. Cannot get return value of. Oh, right. That should look like this. I forget. Okay, so now it's going to be happy with that. Can call that in both of those. Yeah, maybe we'll call it at the start of that. Well, then we wouldn't need to call connect it. We would just need to go await, get tree timer, timeout. And then I think it'll just continue if I understand how await works. And I will make, I'm going to have to start making some of these export variables. Wait time. Reset time? We'll call it reset time. Yeah, int's fine. No, it should be a float. I changed my mind. So we'll go with that. We'll make it 2 seconds by default, and we'll just pass that in instead. I'm making it a hard-coded number. Okay. There's a Discord message. Well, I shouldn't be worrying about that. Oh yeah, okay. That's you guys. Yep. I gotta close that. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Cool. I've got some warnings. The parameter body is never used in the function. Oh yeah, I suppose if I wanted to be like super specky with it, this thing doesn't actually need a reference to the rigid body. You can just use it from the area 2D node. But we won't worry about that for now. Let's get out of its way. It doesn't seem to have triggered because we're not calling the function. It's so silly. Reset ball. Reset ball. Now I have to wait. Still no good. Did I do this wrong? Did I do this wrong? Do I not know how await works? Why don't they have like docs for that? It should be in global scope. Let's quick it. Oh man. I mean, that matches the GD script example. Am I being dumb? Did I miss something? Or maybe the position is wrong. Maybe I'm using the wrong variable there. So I'm just going to print this. I should be able to... I want to print the position. I thought it would be position, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it should be global position. I've made that mistake before. Doesn't even get... It is getting called, so it must just be not in the right spot. So 4.3, wait, did I not update? Where do you start the timer? You don't need to with this. Get tree, create timer. It works. I saw the printout before. So the problem is the position. So I think I'm using the wrong variable. I think it should be global position. Let's try that. It's the same. Am I missing something here? Okay, that's a bit embarrassing. This shouldn't be that hard. Okay, we've got the ball dot... I don't want to despawn the ball. That's the thing. So I believe... You know what I should probably do? Because it is a physics object and moving them around like this is kind of not right. I should freeze it and then I should move it. It's the more correct way of doing things. So let's go ball dot freeze equals true. Wrong button. True. And it's freeze mode static, which is fine. And then I mean, realistically, you should be able to move the position of the ball without issue. Like, it should still appear on screen. XY, I mean, yeah, I'm taking that directly from code, so. I'm not unfreezing it though, so that's not going to help me much. What is going on? Where's my ball gone? Guys, I can't find my ball. All right. I should also unfreeze that. What is going on? let me think for a second. So the start position, it's getting set because I'm setting the start position here. The linear velocity should stop. What I might do is in the project settings, we can just increase the window size so I can see past it just to see if I can spot anything that will give me a clue as to why this might be happening. So I'm just going to add like, I don't need to add that much, like 300 pixels either side. That should be fine. I don't really need it on the top. Just keeps going. Oh, it's there for a second. Did you see that? Of the global. Yes, I can do that. So I'm definitely misunderstanding how 2D physics work. It's been a while since I've worked with 2D. It's like, you should just be simple. Like I can make a first-person controller where you can pick up rigid bodies and move them around, no problems, but making Pong is hard. Okay, obviously it doesn't know what that is. Anyway, we did see it reset for like a second. So the launch velocity, is it too high? Is it moving way too quick? It was 500 in the thingo here. I think I'm a little bit curious about what the velocity is doing. I think it's flying off real quick. Yeah, it's 4.2. Did I update my Twitch stream title? Oh, yeah, no, it is. It is. Okay. It's been an hour. Can you believe it? I thought I'd be doing better than this. Okay, it suddenly just works. Do you guys see that? I don't think I changed anything, right? What? Why does this always happen to me? What is it like, that guy's Schrodinger's cat? This is the game dev's Pong ball. Because I decided to observe the linear velocity, it suddenly decided to work. Is that what it is? What? Okay, no, okay, wait. No, for real though. I actually I can't understand why that would happen. And I'm printing out the linear damp. Like, so what am I just printing the global position and suddenly it works? All right, I guess I'll just leave that in there. I'm actually dumbfounded. I can't explain that. What happens if I just do one? Okay. What? I don't know. I don't know. I can't understand that. Is it just like there needs to be code in here? What's the rule? What is the rule? Are we just printing out the text global position? Is it going to work? No. we have to be printing out the global position for this to work. Does removing the whole process do something? It shouldn't really, because it's like a function that you're overriding. So technically it's still being called no matter what. All right, yeah. But do we need to call? I can't. This is not the reason why. There has to be some other reason why. Like the velocity or the... okay, so let's just print out the velocity. Because I was actually curious about this. I thought maybe this was the issue. The velocity was moving. It was getting set to be something too high. It doesn't seem to be the case. And we do need to be observing the AI is ascending global position. We do need to be printing out global position for the code to work. And only the global position. I need to experiment with trying to get this off center. I sent it away, but it's back. It doesn't seem to care, but the process. Anyone got an explanation for that? I'm actually losing my mind about how come this works. Can I call it in the ready function? I don't want to call it every single frame. What is going on? I can't. It has to be called every frame. Okay, well, that's just going to be life's mystery. I really want to understand that, but I've got to move on. Okay, so all right. Let's work on the... Yeah, there's a couple of things we want to do, right? Because could it be that the game forgets where it goes off? Nah, it doesn't do that. It would know where it is and all that kind of stuff. It would have to be... I actually can't think of an explanation why. Number one, it wouldn't work because it really should. And number two, why printing out that would make it work. Maybe it's a 2D thing. Like I said, I don't normally work in 2D, so it could be related. Maybe in 2D, when it goes off the screen, it does die. And no, come on, that's ridiculous. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to still print it. Because if it was... Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm losing my mind. No, it should not. Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to put that to the back of my mind. I want to make the AI script. I'll just call it player 2. That's fine. Player 2 does not need all of this. I guess he needs speed. And he doesn't need gravity. But he does need to know where the ball is. So I'm going to do something really basic to begin with, and we'll build up from there. So we're just going to need to set the variable direction, and then all of this can just be the same. So var direction, it's a float, I guess. No, it's a vector too, isn't it? It'll just start off at 0 for now. We'll just set it to something arbitrary. Cannot be assigned the value type. Cannot variable to... okay, so it is a float. Never mind. Okay. I guess it's only affecting the 1. All right, and then we just change this to Y because we want it to move in the Y direction, keeping it basic. Okay, so we just need a reference to the ball. That's fine because this project is super basic. And, man, what is wrong with me? Export, ball, rigid body, right? I'm missing a var, ball, rigid body. I just couldn't do it to myself. There we go. Now it's neat. And so we can just say that the ball position, the ball, I guess if we want to be specific, we go ball Y position, and it can also be a float, and we've just set that to ball dot, I guess we're going to use global position dot Y, and what we need to do is move towards the ball. So we can just go the direction should be, could we lerp it? Equals lerp from direction, and this is really going to need to be above for this to work properly. To ball Y position at a rate of, we can just make it, we'll create a variable. What am I going to call it? Direction change speed. And, well, speed's 300. We'll make this 300 for now. I'm thinking in terms of changing the difficulty. We could use that, something like that. Okay. I forgot a couple of letters and icons and stuff. Now, at the moment, there's nothing here. Oh, okay, it's just gone. What the fuck, bro? Sorry, I shouldn't swear like that. It's very unprofessional of me. Okay, I really hate this printout of the flippin'. Okay, I'm just gonna comment this out for a second. We know it doesn't work without it, but if we don't lose, then it's fine. What I do want to know is what the hell happened to player 2? Because the direction, I guess if it hits the wall, I've got to set up the boundaries the same way, right? Because I set up the player, it's on layer 1. It really should just be on layer 1 with no mask. I don't think that's really going to change much. And I'm guessing I just like moved the speed to print velocity. As a minor, I don't care about the swearing. Yeah, but YouTube cares about the swearing. And YouTube won't pay me if I swear too much. Actually, I'm sure it's fine. Like, I don't really do it that much. And I'm not talking about anything sensitive, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so we are sending... I am just making everything in the same scene. We're not trying to make a masterpiece here. Okay, so obviously the ball Y position... So it's going to not a number. That is really bizarre. I am setting the direction based on the ball, and because they're on the same vector, it probably is 0. So right now they're like identical. So I don't know if I like move this up a little bit. It like in theory it should move towards it, but I don't know, what are their origins? They're in the center, so it's just gone. The funniest things happen. So yes, I am just setting it based on the Y position, direction change speed. From to wait. Yes, from to wait. From the direction to the ball. Huh. I see the error of my way. The position, it needs to be like, we need to be doing some vector math here. I skipped a whole step. Player position. Yeah, player, because this is a player. Player to Y position. That's so funny. What a classic. Global position dot Y. Floor. And so realistically, this should not be that. It should be the ball Y position minus, well, yeah, subtract one or the other. I'm not really sure which one. And then we go with that. Right. That makes way more sense. Or does it? It's still going to not a number. Because if they're the same, I mean, let's just skip the lerping second and then just make direction. I'm thinking about this all wrong, aren't I? Does it need to be normalized? I don't know. Yes, you're probably right. Thank you for that. I was hoping to just get something going and then work on it from there, but yeah, you're right. It might be a little bit clearer as to what I go direction equals, and then I wrap it in brackets. That dot normalized, and then we're going from direction. I'm just going to take this out, to be honest. Oh, it's a dot Y. Dot Y? No. I guess. No, it doesn't need to be. It's not a vector. It's just a float. It just becomes nothing. I believe direction is a global float variable to carry one in. Yeah. No, it's not a global float variable, but because if I delete this here, it will just delete. But you're right. It should be. I should be aiming to make it something between 1 and 0. You are very correct there. Like I'm going about this all wrong. See how that all errors out. So what I do need to do is find out the I need to compare them. I need to find out if it's a positive or a negative number, right? So you can just say it should be like sine. But I was surprised how fast I got a prototype. Well, I'm surprised how long it's taking me, fruit dude. I felt like I could have done this by now, but it's been an hour. I think, I don't know, on stream everything just falls apart. So now it's going to return between a 0 and a positive number, like negative 0 or 1, right? That's what we want. And then we can just like do the lerping. AI position, perhaps. Velocity, what? Yeah. So this, I think, will work a lot better. Yeah, look at it now. It's in the spot. And somehow the ball is working correctly as well. It's spun. Well, right now, I mean, that's really all there is to it. I just need to make it stop when it's matching the direction. And I probably need to do some work on speed. And rotation, because this ball shouldn't rotate. But it's funny that it does. But he's going. So thank you for that, Alfan. Is shaking in excitement. I can get it. It's just like my dog. And we just need to set like a vector to make it like better or worse, like to slow it down. AI is having a stroke. It certainly is. So I guess you would probably just make this number weight. I've got a direction change speed. Yeah. If direction is not equal to 0, something like that. Air hockey, yeah. So let's see about, first of all, the ball is suddenly working. Let's just not forget that that decided to work all of a sudden. And it's got rotation. So I need to set rotation lock. I forgot about that. Lock rotation. And it does need to have like a little bit of logic when it collides with something, because right now there's no like left bounce, right bounce. So it probably wants to know like where its position is on the player that it hit. Maybe make the ball a circle. Yeah, well, that would solve the issue. It probably, yeah, I guess it would. But like, I think typically it's a square, right? I closed the... So it's typically a square. It goes way faster than mine. And also like there's like edges to the thing that determine how much it goes in that direction. So I do need to add some logic there. Okay. Close it because I don't know how to pause it. So who should be responsible for that? I think the ball, we'll just let the ball figure it out. Like let the players just do their movement and let the ball figure out where it goes next. And we can do this by applying an impulse, right? So I guess we're going to want to have a contact monitor and it'll just be body entered, right? And it'll just call on itself. And we will say it needs to be a continuous CD, I suppose. Oh, this is different. Contact monitor. It really just needs one. I'm going to make sure this works first. Print body. And we can just compare our positions and decide to do something based on that. Yeah. Okay. So, also I'm printing out like heaps of stuff and I don't want to do that anymore. Player 2. We'll worry about the rest of his stuff later. Let's get the rest of it working. Because obviously he's not very AI, as you would say. But we'll get there. All right. Okay. I got to open the right thing. Otherwise I can't see the chat. Okay. So now we know what the body is. So it says player 2, character body 2D. So now we can just compare the position of the two. I believe the normals are all, I mean, the position, like the origins are all in the center. So that's good. And we should be able to just say, how far am I to the left or right of this? And on that, set a impulse based on that. And then we'll have to work out how it bounces. We should get the bouncing off the walls for free, but we'll see. Okay, so for, we'll just call it player equals body. Oh, I don't really need to get a copy of that. So player position. It's going to be a vector 2. We're really just interested in the Y. We'll start with the whole thing. It's body dot global position. That is some terrible code. There should be an equals. Could not. Oh, it's going to be a capital. Okay. And then we'll go. What values do? It's 2 floats. I guess. It could be a float, it could be an int, it could be either, right? What does it say? It uses floating point coordinates, which are always 64-bit. The more you know. Where's the time? 21:52. It's going to be a late one. Player position. And then we want position. No, yeah. Difference. Direction. I don't know what it's going to be. I guess it's going to be a vector 2 as well. We can say player position minus global position. This will need to be normalized. A little bit easier than using the sign thing from last time, because this is a vector 2. And it probably needs to be the inverse, right? Oh, I guess it just depends on my subtractions. I'll have to have a look. And then we just call apply central impulse, and we call it on the direction. It did seem to kind of move, right? It's the opposite. It's going the opposite direction that I expect it to. And I'm losing speed on the Pong thingo, so I might need to set it up. Yeah, okay, so that's almost correct. We just need to swap these two. Yeah, that works. That's fine. Where did the... Oh, he went off screen. Dude, and now it's like almost... It feels like a game, right? This is pretty cool. Look at him go. He goes out of bounds. He's got no respect. It's not as... It does get... It. What the fuck? He's destroying me. Oh, I guess he is like perfect. I mean, that's a game right there. Also, okay, so we can both move through those. Oh, you know why? It's because we don't mask the boundary anymore. Bro, don't care about boundaries. It seems neither does my player either. And that is because of the collision layer setup. So we can address that. The reason I need to keep them off the mask is because if they are on the mask, they'll be impacted from the ball. So I do need to set up a separate collision layer. I'll make it 3. And we can just be on that and mask it. I probably just need to mask it, but and then the boundaries, we'll just set them to be on that as well, so that the ball gets impacted and we can't move through that too. And now we're stuck. No matter what we want to do. Dude, this piece, he's too good. Look at him. He's just sitting on that waiting to go. So there's a couple of things that we want to try and address, but fuck. Dude, he's too good. Okay, well, we're pretty much there. We just need to like work on the win state, because we haven't got there yet, and the player state. The AI is such a tryhard. It'd be really funny if we just gave him like, he's just like negging you when you lose. Okay, so win check. So now we pretty much got all the building blocks. We can do a win state. We can make that a full screen kind of thingo. I don't know. We'll just make it margin container, I guess. I'll go with. And that should be inside the canvas layout. So let's have a look. And it will be full screen. Give it a margin. Make it throw insults when it wins. Yeah, just like give you a little bit of jabby. Make it like 200. And we'll put a panel. It's probably a little bit too small, but we'll roll with it for now. And within this panel, we're going to have like a label and a couple of buttons, right? So realistically, if we want to have like a thing saying you win, you lose, or player 1, player 2 wins, and then we want a button to say retry or play again and quit. So if I have to think about the structure, we probably want a V box and then an H box. I don't know how you guys like to make them, but like this is how I like to do it. What did I say? V box, a V box, and then an H box within the V box. So the label is going to be inside that, and then yes, I will address that as well. I think it's a little bit too long compared to what we tested before. And then an HBox container, and this all can be full. I almost said something real sus. It can be a full rect. So ridiculous. That is what it says, right? It doesn't matter. I'm not saying anything, right? That's just, if they're mad at me, it's because of my accent. So that's just rude. Does it freeze in place? That's a good question. I don't know if the player stops as well. So it's gonna be like a player wins. I'll have to I'll just write some placeholder here. We will know who wins, and then below that we want a button. We want 2 buttons, and this will be center, and this one will be replay, and this one will be quit, right? And that is fine, although this alignment, we want to make it at the center. Okay, well we can, yeah. That's just a matter of moving that await signal, right? Down here. Let's hide that margin container. That fucked up. We'll think about that in a second. Let's just put that back. Make sure it still works. It just suddenly doesn't. I need to hide it. Okay, no wait, no, I can just go here. Right? Why didn't... Did you see that? It's being weird again. I don't. 2D physics is weird, man. It does not work like 3D physics does. Okay, so let's get back to this. Replay, quit. Okay, I'm just going to name these buttons so I know what they are. Quit button. Replay button. Okie dokie. And then the win label. And we'll just call this the make 3D Pong. Yeah, it would probably be easier for me, to be honest. Why is 2D so hard? I guess I just forgot. Win condition. Win notifier. That's fine. Okay, so we can give this a script. We just save that. And we don't need ready, we don't need process. What we do need to know, okay, we're going to have a function. called, not called, just type that out. We need a function probably called on when condition met. And it's going to take a winner, which will be a string, and it's going to return void. And what it will do is it will just update the win label. So we'll say we need to get access to that. That is not how you do it. Hold the control down. And we probably want the replay button and everything so I can set what they do. I mean, realistically, I don't. I just need to know when they're pressed. Pressed. Okay. On win condition met, the win label. And also what we want to do is we want a generic win message. And it will be a string and it will be equal to whatever I want it to be. Maybe I can make this an export variable. Nah, who cares? Just make it an internal variable. And it's like, you know, I just start with a space 1. I'm not going to do anything fancy like put a modifier variable. I know I've done that a couple of times before where you do like a percentage, I think it's percentage %s, and then the variable shows up, but like can't be stuffed. And would you like to play again? And then, so then what we want to do is say when label equals a string, it's like going to be winner dot set text, I should say. And it's going to be the winner plus the generic message, right? And I changed my mind on this. I don't think I need them. On replay, reset, I will need to emit a signal because I don't have access to this format string. Oh, you got the thing. You got the docs for me. It is %s. I wonder if I put that up there, would it work? Like this. Format string. I don't have time to read it. Let's not worry about it. I've done it a couple of times. It's one of those things, you know, you do it like 2 or 3 times and you know it exists, but when you're on the crunch, you're just like, whatever. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Before that existed. Has that always been around? I've only learned about it in the last couple of months. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Thank you for that, Alfound, though. I've lost my place. Okay, so we need a signal for reset. Signal reset. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. On the replay, I should make that more clear. Replay. Right. var generic win player 1. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, let me just set this up and then replay dot emit. Yes, that's fine. On quit, we can just say get tree dot quit. That's fine. We don't need anything for that. So when the replay button is pressed, we just need to notify the score. So I guess we'll make a script on the canvas layer. Actually, on the arena, because it needs to know too. So we'll emit that signal to the arena and we'll reset the play. So then I will say yoink, I'll yoink this. And I'll yoink this. What happened there? Needs to. Get load. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I could. Mr. Forgettable, you're absolutely right. That is what I should do. Fuck hell. I'm overcomplicating it, aren't I? Get tree. Dot reload current scene. Absolutely. Me setting up a signal to reset the score and the position of everything. Just reload the scene. That's what you're trying to do. Okay, so, and we're also going to try to do something fancy with the string. String equals... Oh, you're reading about it just now. Okay. Well, let's just try and call this. I guess we'll need access to it. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. So we'll just do win notifier. And what's the function called? It is called... I feel like I should be emitting a signal. It's funny, you know, when you break rules sometimes, it feels so wrong. Actually, this kind of annoys me because it's really loud. Win notifier. Call down, they say call down signal up. So I guess technically this is okay, but I don't know. Player 2. And I guess I just got to let him win because there's no way I'm beating him to test this. I probably should score, pause the game as well. That would be the right thing to do when it's over. So let's just play this out and see how it goes. The scores are around the wrong way. I'm also noticing that now. Okay, we should be reaching that any second now. Nothing's happened. Okay. I'm also going to make a variable. Max, win score target. And I'll set that to just 1 at the moment. Am I doing the wrong score for the wrong person? I think I might have mixed up the scores because I just noticed before that the P1 score is this one here. And I'm sending the P2 score. They're back to front, number 1, which is really funny. But also, like, have I stuffed this up here too? P2 score label dot set text. So I'm setting the one that I think, and then I'm checking the win condition, and I'm returning if score is equal to win score target. I guess I need to find out if this is actually working. Yeah, I will. I'll just move them around. I just need to shift them across because, like, technically, I think the logic is okay. It says true. You know what I've? Oh my god! Sometimes you just do dumb shit, right? Show. I just need to call show. This is classic mistake. You just forget. It does actually work if you make sure to call the function. Sometimes it's like so silly. And then I'm also going to pause the game. Get tree dot set pause. Player 2. I guess, yeah, you're probably right there, Mr. Forgettable. It said player 2 won. Player 2 did win, right? We'll worry about that in a second. Set pause. How do you pause a game? Get tree dot pause. Jesus. Is it scene tree? Scene tree dot pause. Isn't the left side player 1? I'll work on that in a second. We've established that I've gotten a little bit confused about which one's which, and it is definitely because I named them very similarly. So there's a lesson there. Okay, I know that the pause function is in the scene tree. What's it called? Why? Scene tree dot paused? Get tree is pause, set pause, pause. Okay. Why didn't that come up before? Am I missing something? It should just be set pause true, right? Player 2 1. Would you like to play again? Player 2 is the AI, so that's right. It's just the score's on the wrong side. And now this won't work because we're paused. So first of all, we need to set the process mode to always, probably. It's fine. I like to use always get tree.paused equals true. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting, you know what it was? I don't know if you guys watched the Primogen. You know, you heard people talk about like the Copilot pause, like the AI pause. Now, I don't use that stuff, but I wait for like Godot to tell me sometimes the function. It's a bit silly. And then, whoops, unpause it when we hit the replay button. And now it's fine. Yeah. Can we quit? Yeah, we can quit. Okay, awesome. So that's fine. That works. Okay, so let's just quickly fix the player rect. So the IntelliSense, yeah. I forget the words. I'm really sorry. I don't write code for a job. So like my terminology is horrible. I make names for things that don't exist. Okay. So, right. The names are around the wrong way. So I could just rename them and I might do that. It's funny. Now, will this just work? Because like the path is the same, right? Yeah. Nice. Okay. So we're getting pretty close to like a full logic, like fully complete. I want to work on that AI. I'm not like proud to say that I've done this without it. The ball gets faster. We get that for free. I feel like there needs to be more extreme movement on the ball when it hits the edge. So I could have like a multiplier because this is just normalized. So I could put like a bounce multiplier, bounce force, I guess. I'll call it something like that. And we'll just set this to 2 for now. This is a 7-sided ball. We don't need that because we're calculating the distance. So then we can just go direction multiplied by bounce force. So now if we want, we can make it go really wild. If we make this like 5 or something. Yeah, that feels more like Pong. And oh, I beat him. I wasn't expecting that. Hang on a second. Was it just that there wasn't enough bounce to it? Because like if you play the one that I was playing, it's like insane the amount of bounce on that thing. Right? Like there's quite a lot. It's almost like, I don't want to say 45-degree angle, maybe. Don't know. Not important. I'm happy with that being. We'll make this an export variable. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Okay, so we're getting really close now. I want to make that max win score target. We'll make it 5 for testing. I'll make this an export variable so I don't have to keep coming back here. And the reset time's a little bit too long. The other thing that I wanted to do was just move these boundaries, the out of bounds, just a little bit further back because you can see the ball. So I'm just going to move them a little bit out of the boundary of the screen, and fucking just let one through. Whoa, holy shit. Okay, so we've got some balance issues here. We're moving too slow, I think. I would say for sure we're too slow. And I would say the speed of the second player is really what's going to control his difficulty. So if he moves at 300 and I move at 500, you know, is that how we control his difficulty? I don't know. It definitely feels like 300 is too slow. I'm working on the player right now, aren't I? We need to cap the AI speed. Right now he goes 300. I also go 300. Yeah, he can. The direction is always a 1. I've got some printouts that I want to get rid of. And I need to put a cap on the velocity of the ball too. It goes wild. Oh. Okay. That was unexpected. So apparently it can come back. And did you see that? Yes, we do need to cap the ball's speed. The AI is going faster than it should. Yeah, we can look at that. Maybe it's related to the direction. If the direction should just be between 0 and 1. But yeah, okay, so the ball is obviously got an issue. So I might need to, I wonder if there's, can I get is there a freebie? Is there like a max velocity? Gravity scale, center of mass mode. I'm looking for some free settings that I don't have to think about, but it doesn't look like it will be. So I might just need to put something in the process function to limit the linear velocity. Physics process. The ball found a corner in the flat surface. Yeah. I mean, it could be. Sometimes physics bodies, when they move too quickly, they will go through rigid bodies. Well, they'll go through static bodies and stuff like that if they've got too much speed. but I think we do need to put a cap on how fast the ball can go. I think a little bit of acceleration is good. Let's just see. I want to see what the linear velocity looks like. It gets to 1,000 really quick. So, missed it. I feel like whatever that second number was, like 1,500. That second number there. I reckon 1,500. Velocity. Cap. Yes, that is exactly what I'm going to type our fan. Or something like that. Once again, with the forgetting a few steps. It's probably just going to be easier if I make this a vector 2, to be honest. And then it'll just be 0 and... Wait, no. 15 in either direction, right? That's fine. And we can say if linear velocity is greater than velocity cap, then linear velocity is equal to velocity cap. Well, I think it'll be okay to do that. Whoa. What? Okay, but they have positive and negative numbers. Still fucks up. I used a raycast to detect the collision on the x-axis and bounce the ball back. The speed is way more controllable that way. Yes. Because we're applying an impulse. This is why it's going fast. And I probably need to... you do, though. Yeah, obviously this is a very lazy attempt at it. The velocity cap is not going to be, because it can be positive or negative. So this isn't really going to work the way that we want it to. So that's not an option. Right? Because it can be either direction. Dun, dun. Adds a... Applying an impulse every frame would result in a frame-dependent force. For this reason, should only be used when simulating one-time impacts. This is the equivalent of apply impulse at the body's center of mass. So realistically, this is where the problem comes from. But theoretically, it's Can you tell I don't work with physics that much? Wait, I don't want to print that out. I want to print linear velocity. And there's another... I'm also realizing that this is being triggered on... So... This is being triggered on the walls too. I'm not checking to see if they're players. I'm just checking if it's a body. So that's a problem. I shouldn't be doing that. This should only be triggered. Oh, yeah, this should only be triggered. So we can do that by testing the layer. The top boundary masks the world and this, but the player only masks 3. So we can test its mask to see if it matches what we're expecting. And then we'll know to only trigger on that. We could add a group. We could check if because we know that they're kinematic bodies, right? So if body is kinematic collision, is that what it's called these days? Conway's Game of Life and Godot. Now you see it doing it. Yeah, it's a fun little thing to sort of test. It's good. I'm finding out, like, when I started this, I was like, yeah, Pong easy, but like there's things I haven't thought about in years in here. The expression is of type node. It can't be of type collision, kinematic collision body. Okay. Excuse me. Yes, it can. Delete that. Right? That's what these are. Kinematic. Oh, they're character body 2Ds. That's me forgetting what version of Godot I'm in. Okay. So now this should really only trigger on these guys. And I only saw 3 there. I need to hit the wall. I believe it's working correctly. Yeah. Okay, so that will stop that from bouncing off like crazy. And now this feels much more manageable. So that fixed our scaling problem as well. I still feel like if you had a decent rally going, it's going to get very quick, very... Okay. Or it doesn't matter, right? Because the ball just gets too quick too quickly. I think the speed increment... Yes, the speed increment is intentional. I've got a bounce force here, so I could just set that to 2. And the bounce force will be lower. So the apply central impulse is being multiplied. So the direction is just like where it should go, right? Like left or right. And if I just made it 1, it would still... The linear velocity would still change, but it would change by less. It feels good right now. If we made it 1, I'm kind of curious. Does it ever get down from 500 or does it just stay the same? It does like start to speed up. To be honest, that feels like more reasonable. It gets faster every time. And but the direction is not. Because what I'm trying to do is impact the direction. So maybe we can make the bounce force only affect... No, that doesn't work. Maybe just make it 2. It still gets faster. And see, this is what I'm trying to avoid, where there isn't as much extreme movement on the Pong, on the ball, because in Pong, I feel like you don't normally get stuff like that. So we're close. We're just not quite there yet. And then capping the velocity is probably what I need to do. It's just the exact mechanics of how that is done. I have to think about. What's the time? It's 10:30. It's getting kind of late. Maybe we just say that that's good enough for the project that we're making. And it's like you get the direction from doing that, but then manipulate the linear velocity. Yeah, we'll think about it. I might not address it. I'm not too sure, honestly. Player 2. Player 2's movement is kind of messed. right? Like he goes up and down, and we want to try and fix that. Whoops, I just let it through because I'm bad at this game. Right? Like he looks all right. I suppose you don't really notice most of the time because you're so focused on the ball, but when it is coming directly for him, it does get kind of wild. Like I want to fix that, and then I think we'll call it good. And I think it just went straight through me. So, it's not perfect. And I literally can't beat him. And it went through him. Yeah, there's issues. I think I can fix that just by saying continuous collision. And I really ought to turn down the this bounce force. If ball speed is greater than speed cap, speed increment, perhaps. Yes, but bounce force. The ball speed is a vector 2, and it can be a positive or a negative depending on its direction. So how do we know? I feel like I kind of know the math, but I don't want to do it. Do you ever get that feeling? I could probably work this out, but it will. For sure it will. Okay, so player 2. When he is on the vector 2, he moves too much. I guess if direction... Because there's deceleration, right? So I guess I really want to be testing... not direction sign. So we can do this twice, right? And this one we just go we just use the same variable, who cares? And this first check we can go if direction dot is 0 approx. Come on, give it to me. Global scope is, I have to, right, okay, I'm not supposed to do it that way. Sometimes you just forget. Is 0 approx direction, then, so I guess I will say if not, and then we'll do that, right? Because then if it's close to 0, it won't perform that. Does that work better? Nah, still trash. He's even worse. He's still better than me. I'm so bad at this game. I actually can't believe how bad I am at Pong. Anyway, before I embarrass myself any further, this was not the right way to go. Do you guys know I've never really made AI before? I've made a few AI, but nothing much. We could also test to see if direction is within a certain range to just not operate. So it's a little bit wider, right? So you could be for trigger range. I sort of just avoid putting AI in my games. Just objects exploration, whatever it is. If direction is it's going to need to be absolute direction. is greater than, less than. Going through the pain. Yeah, it just doesn't behave the way I want it to. If ABS direction is greater than trigger range, then do everything here. And if not, I still need to be calling move and slide. And to be honest, this section here does need to be on the outside. So what I want to do actually is not do this, but actually say direction is equal to 0. And so that it only gets set to 1 or -1 if it's above a certain amount, which is 10 pixels at the moment. Still not working. Am I missing something here? I'm just really dumb. I think that's my issue is I'm just dumb. Or does this... Shit. I've got to get rid of some of my other printouts because I'm not going to be able to know what's going on. Okay, let's just print out direction here. Find out what's going on here. Hey, Dashizi. How's it going? So it sort of sits between 0... So it really... Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Direction equals sine direction. This is why it's not working. So I'm just redoing the calculation. Oh my God. What am I doing? Okay, it still didn't work. Okay. You're going to make it in 3? Oh, shit, yeah. It's 2 hours. I am actually almost done, to be honest. I thought it would be easier, but I was mistaken. And now I'm really struggling with the player, the enemy AI, the computer. I really don't want him to be bouncing up and down, but he does seem to be doing that no matter what I do here. And I'm playing with the direction, which is what controls what he does. Interesting. Oh, I'm doing it. I wanted to do it here. So okay, so this is not triggering. Don't make fun of me, Mr. Forgettable. I see you there. The ball speed is entering. Oh, you're just getting to that, are you? Okay, he's talking about something else. Okay, so I'm obviously messing up here. If direction is less than the trigger range. Yes, perfect. It was just a mistake. Okay, and we can sort of okay, I'm just the biggest idiot. I just had that round the wrong way the entire time. Oh my God. Okay, we made it. Okay, now that looks a lot better. And he does seem to move quicker. I see what you're saying now. Gotta get him. Whoa, it slowed down a lot. Okay. We're a lot more even now. So at least he feels like he's more under control now. He looks good. I'm actually really happy with that. It's simple and it works. He's still too good. Like he can just follow that around, no problem. He has no issue getting to the ball. So the way that we can deal with that is by capping his speed. So right now I've got this direction change variable as well that I'm not using. So we can delete that and we can just sort of reduce his speed a little bit so that he can't get there as quickly as I can. And I'm still not 100% happy with that bouncing mechanic. It is what it is though. Okay, he's still way too good. He doesn't, I can't beat this guy. Hey, I got one on him. I just scored on myself. Yeah, I'm having trouble with that because of the way that I've designed the speed mechanic. And also the way that it bounces off walls is really weird. But I think that's just a Godot physics thing. If I really wanted to make it like work properly, I would need to... I really want to beat this guy though. Oh shit. I'm not going to be able to. He's too good. Okay. What? No. What happened? Oh my god. Doing. Yeah, I think you're right, Mr. Forgettable. I made a mistake deciding to like just let the physics engine do it myself. Oh, we're bringing it back. I'm going to beat this guy, and then I think I'm going to call it. Yeah, the bounces on the walls are terrible. I've got this. This is easy. I can get this one, no problems, and then I can fuck him up because I'm going to put it on the side. Hey, I did it. I made Pong, and I beat it. It's really bad. It's a really bad version of Pong, but it is a version of Pong. Oh my god. Clear that out. Did I like meet the requirements of the challenge? I don't even know. Ricardo, what is going on? Okay, so difficulty, complexity, half star. This was supposed to be easier than Flappy Bird, but I feel like I could make Flappy Bird with my eyes closed. There's no AI, that's probably why. Create an arena with tool, add a paddle either end of the field. Add a ball that moves the player field and bounces off the paddles on the walls. Detect when the ball leaves the player field and assign a point. Track and display the score. Okay. Write an AI script that can follow the ball so you can play with only one player. Yep. But making the opponent impossible to beat, you might want to make the AI less than perfect somehow. I made him slow. You want to watch a Flappy Bird recreation? I've actually done it before. That's why I chose Pong. I haven't completed... I was making a Flappy Bird clone for a video, but then I dropped the thing. I was going to do it. It was like AI related. So, and then everyone turned on AI. So we just left it alone. So that's why I chose Pong, but I feel like we could do it. Maybe that would make a good, because one of the video ideas that I've got that I want to make is like man versus machine, where it's like I make a game, something simple like Flappy Birds, and then I get AI to make it as well, and then we see which one's better. But that's an idea for another time, I think. Add a menu. Okay, those are stretch goals. Technically, I met the challenge, so I'm going to stop the timer there. So, best time, 2 hours and 8 minutes, 34 seconds. For speedrunning Pong, it's not even good, but it is Pong, technically. Awesome. That was great. I had a lot of fun doing that. I learned a lot about what I think, because, sometimes you forget, So learning more about my own ability as a game developer and how good I really am when I venture outside of what I'm familiar with. So that was a lot of fun. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Okay. So that is me. I can't see OBS. I pressed a button. That's my camera. So we learned a lot today. Today I learned I'm not a hotshot like I think I am. Can't make Pong that quickly. But it is what it is. I still learnt a lot. All right, guys. I'm clocking off for the night. What should we listen to? Files, background music. Try hard? What is try hard? We did that one last week. Pong definitely humbled me. Bit of sad music. I skipped halfway through so we can just get taken out, but I'll see you guys next time.